Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking. I'm here with a quick little video blog for you. I think this is number 6. I said I was going to start doing more of these, but I only do them when I actually feel like I have something important to say, or at the very least interesting. Anyway, just a couple of quick things basically about Gencon coming up. And another gaming event that's coming up in the far future, but I just wanted to kind of mention it, and we can get to that in just a second. But as we all know, Gencon, well, I shouldn't say we all know, I'm sure most of you know, Gencon is coming up here in August, and as always, I will be heading out there. This will be my 3rd or 4th year in a row of attending Gencon. I will be once again rooming with my good buddy Joel Eddy at Drive Through Review. If you haven't checked out his reviews, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, make sure you go and check that out. Joel does excellent work with his board game reviews. And we will be staying once again with Marco Ornato, and I think Richard Ham might even be spending some time in our hotel room as well. So it'll be just kind of like the mecca of board game reviewers. So regardless, there's going to be lots of stuff going on at Gen Con, and I hope to get some video done while I'm there. That's kind of more Joel's thing. He does a lot of drive-through at Gen Con video stuff. He's racing back and forth, and I really encourage you all to kind of follow him as far as that. I know for a fact he's got meeting after meeting after meeting set up with the publishers out there, and I kind of go there to have fun, check out the new games, play some stuff, meet up with new friends, and kind of like there's Gen Con people there that I generally consider to be my good friends, publishers and designers and what have you, and maybe they think I suck out loud, but I really enjoy being around them, and so I kind of see this as a thing where I can have 3 or 4 days where I can go and enjoy myself and have a good time while I'm there. And Joel, he treats it like, well, I think he actually really enjoys it. But, I mean, I couldn't do it. I mean, it seems like a lot of work, and it seems like it's going to take away from a lot of the fun, you know, because he's just doing tons of cool videos about, like, the newer releases and the newer stuff that's coming out. And so he goes kind of crazy with that. But regardless, that's his deal. And I heartily recommend that you, once Gen Con starts up, go and follow him on YouTube, and so you can check those videos as they come out. He'll post them on Board Game Geek as well. He's always like making the video, and then he races back to our hotel room and then uploads it, and then he races back. So it's kind of interesting. He's kind of a tall dude too. He's like, you know, 6'4", 6'5". He's kind of like just a big giant Sasquatch of a guy. So it's kind of fun watching him move quickly. Regardless, Gen Con's coming up, and I got a lot of cool stuff coming up with Gen Con. You know, I don't really do a lot of events while I'm there. This is the first time I'm ever actually doing an event. The first thing I'm mentioning is the Spooting Meeple's Dark Overlord event, and I'm going to have links below on both my YouTube page where this is going to be located, and also on Board Game Geek when I post my blog there as well. If you're not familiar with the game Dark Overlord, I'm going to do a quick review of this here probably later this evening when I get a shot. It's not a very quick game. It's more of a storytelling game, but there is a super, super, super cool event coming up being hosted by Spooning Meeples. If you don't know Spooning Meeples, that is a couple of really, really funny girls that do reviews of games, do talking about games, and what have you. If you haven't checked them out, I really believe you should. You can find them on YouTube, find them on Board Game Geek. Regardless, they have asked 8 of us, eight board game reviewers, personalities, what have you, podcasters, to partake in a huge game of Dark Overlord. And like, if you don't know the game, well, like I said, I'll do a review here. I'm going to post one relatively soon. Basically, what it's going to come down to is all 8 of us, the reviewers and podcasters and what have you, and like Joel Eddy's going to be there, Richard Ham, and well, I mean, you can check out the event. I don't want to spoil everything for you, but we're going to play a really cool game of Dark Overlord, and we're basically going to be screwing each other as much as we possibly can. I personally really looking forward to hammering my good buddy Joel and blaming everything on him. Just a refront on Dark Overlord is a game where you get a hand of cards, and you have to use this hand of cards to come up with a story, because we've all been called upon to the Dark Overlords, and we have to report to them why our mission failed. We're the underlings, if you will. And we have to come up with an excuse. And so you kind of you have three cards that have like, you know, different elements on them. Like, and you have to come up with a story as to why it's not your fault that you didn't get the job done. And, you know, so you play those cards, you come up with the story, and then you point the finger at somebody else. And then that person has to come up with an excuse. And there's all kinds of different cards and stuff that you can play to mess with people. And the twist is that in this big auditorium where everybody's going to be when we do this event, is that there's going to be up to like 300 people can attend the event, actually, and they will be able to give us the thumbs up or thumbs down as to what we're doing. So please, if you want to see me squirm and want to see me get upset, I guess you could just vote thumbs down on me and throw me to the wolves. But hopefully I'll entertain the crowd and I'll emerge victorious. But if not, it's all for fun, and I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be Friday night at Gen Con. And like I said, I'll post the links and what have you, and I definitely urge you to check that out. Gen Con, of course, is a convention that recently they are starting to release more and more board games at Gen Con. The dealer hall is one of the coolest places you're going to be. Picture a big giant airplane hangar filled to the brim with row upon row upon row of super cool publishers of board games and whatnot, and they are all releasing something, and they're all showing off their new cool game, and they're all trying to get you interested in what they have. And I spend days in there. A lot of times I get hung up at the Tasty Minstrel Games booth because both Seth Jaffe and Michael Mendez, they're good buddies of mine, and I end up sitting around that one helping them demo games and BSing with them. So if you are going to be at Gen Con and you want to track me down for Lord knows what reason, tell me that you like my videos, tell me that you hate my videos, just want to shake my hand, or just want to get a Gen Con hug, because I give out Gen Con hugs, you come out, that's a really good place to find me. I'm usually there hanging out, especially when the dealer hall's starting to close, because I almost always go to dinner with those guys. So it's a really awesome place to be, and there's all kinds of cool stuff going on. But where I'm leading to is that Joel, Eddie, and I, if you don't know, have a podcast called Wooden Cubes and Iron Soldiers. We started off, Marco Arnardo was part of it. We've been trying to get him back in, but he's got a really busy schedule, so we haven't been able to get him in there, which is just as well, because that guy could talk about war games all day long, and I'm not a big war gamer. But regardless, and not to say the war games are bad, it's just not for me. But what we're going to be doing is Joel and I, and Richard Ham from Rahdo Runs Through, and I know you know who that guy is. That guy does amazing videos, and he's got an amazing output, if you will. That guy's just got nothing but time on his hands, apparently. Time to play board games and video them. I mean, I wish I had the free time that guy does. But he is making all the way, he's coming to Indianapolis all the way from Malta, and he is going to join us in our podcast, and we are going to talk about pretty much every single game, or we're going to try to touch on every single game that's being released at Gen Con, offer our thoughts, offer our ideas of what we think about that game when it's coming out, whether we're interested in it, whether we want to get it, whether we're going to pass on it, and so on and so forth. And we're going to be doing a massive live Google Hangout YouTube podcast. That's coming up on this Sunday, and I'm going to actually count in my head here. So if today is Monday the 21st, so 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 26th, 27th? 5 p.m. Central Time this upcoming Sunday from today. And that is, I think it's 27th. But 26th? God, I can't think. I apologize. But I'll post that below too, and that's going to be awesome. And we're going to be taking questions from the YouTube crowd. That's one of those things where you can live chat, and you can tell us questions that you may have about anything and everything board game related. And that's, I think, going to be a massively long podcast, and it should be a blast to do that. I'm really looking forward, because I've emailed and like kind of Facebook chatted with Richard a little bit, but I've never talked to him, and so I'm really looking forward to that possibility of being able to kind of virtually break bread with him, and so I'm looking forward to that a great deal. Lastly, and before I go here, I wanted to talk briefly about the charitable organization called Extra Life. If you're not familiar with this, Extra Life is a gaming-related charity that benefits the Children's Miracle Network. And the Children's Miracle Network is something that really kind of hits home for me. And I will touch on this more briefly when I'm able to have my daughter with me. But the quick story is that my daughter spent the first 3 months of her life in the NICU, and we were blessed, and we were very fortunate that she obviously came through and survived and suffered no ill effects from her stay. And I'll leave it at that. That's a story, I could go on and on about that. But those 3 months, today is the day before her birthday, Monday the 21st. And she was born at like 12:30 a.m. on the 22nd. That's a great story, and I'll tell that whole story with an upcoming one when I talk more about the charity. But what it is, Children's Miracle Network funds directly into the things that basically to hospitals spend lots and lots and lots of money on things, and a lot of the treatment and a lot of the care that they do, is expensive, and a lot of it gets written off, and a lot of it comes away from their bottom dollar. And the charitable organizations are able to give the money to them so they can do really cool things with some money. They can use them to, right now, they're the medical center that's in my area, they're building a brand new children's hospital. They're getting state-of-the-art equipment and things like that. And basically, my daughter wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be a dad. I wouldn't have this almost 7-year-old daughter in my life that is just my life totally. If it wasn't for the fact that this network is available, and then they're out there doing this charitable organization. And my local gaming store, the owner, Richard Early, and if you've watched one of my more recent video blogs about, he's functionally blind, he is supporting the Extra Life Foundation, which supports the Children's Miracle Network. And what it is, in October, I believe it is October 18th, we are going to have 24 hours of a marathon of gaming. And what I think my group is going to do, we haven't yet decided. We're either going to do several really long marathon board games, or we're going to have like a 24-hour game of Dungeons and Dragons, and we're kind of up in the air right now. But regardless, my goal of this is that I am going to, have my information, have everything out there that I am going to place. Because if you go to Extra Life, just Google it, Extra Life, you can go there and you can set up a game group. And I urge everybody to do this, on your own as well. And you can get people to donate money, and that money will go directly to the hospital in your area that funds the Miracle Network. And I should say the other way around. They fund the Miracle Network, who then turns the money over to the local hospital. And you can actually choose which hospital you want to give it to as well. So I am going to be doing this. My goal is to actually do a live broadcast of the entire event. I've got a room at my local gaming store where I'm going to be doing this. I've got my gaming group lined up. We're planning ahead. We've got our snacks. We've got our Red Bull. We've got everything that we're going to be able to do this. And it's going to be just like old times, like when we were 15 and we decided we were going to stay awake the entire time and do something like this. And I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I'm going to post something more once I get everything going. And I'm not asking anyone that they need to or have to or whatever donate. I don't care, but I am going to have information where if you want to fund our 24 hours and we get none of the money, we will that money will go towards the hospital in my area. And like I said, I'm more doing this. I don't care if I raise $1 or $1,000. I'm doing this in more to give something back to the hospital that basically saved my daughter's life. And secondly, just to raise awareness and things like that, and to inspire other people to do the same thing that I'm going to do as far as setting up the gaming. So and like I said, go check out the website for Extra Life, and just maybe it's something you want to do yourself. You know, just get your friends and family to, you know, you don't have to have like a gaming store to go do it at. You could just game at your house and ask, like, you know, your family members to each give you $5. Even if you raise $50, even if you raise $25 or whatever, you know, it's something good, and you're gonna feel good about doing it. And plus, you're gonna have an excuse to game for 24 hours in a row. So it's something to look forward to. So that's, you know, basically what I was going to talk about with this blog. And, you know, I didn't want to get too in-depth into, like, you know, any board games that are coming out or anything like that, because, like I said, I got a podcast coming up that's going to be all about board games that I'm really excited about doing. And I've got you know, both the Spooning Meeples thing coming up, and plus I got reviews coming up, and I got everything else going on. So thank you for taking the time to watch this little video blog that I just did. I just want to tell you about those things that are upcoming, and if you have any questions or ideas about them, by all means, just like post those or send me an email at undeadvikingvideos@gmail.com, or Facebook message me at Undead Viking Videos, or send me a conversation through YouTube or whatever. And if you have any questions about any things that I talked about, please let me know, and I will try to answer those to the best of my ability. So, well, I am going to cut this short so I can go ahead and start working on a review that I want to do. So, I'm going to say goodbye to you at this time. Thank you very much for watching, and you have yourself an awesome day. All right, bye-bye.